Have you ever seen someone so insufferable and just so much of a lowlife that it surprises you on how they even got a following to begin with? Because at least for me, there's a ton of different content creators, and I guess not just content creators, but it could just be famous people in general, that are such bad people that it keeps confusing me how they even got a following to start with. Today, we're going to be talking about someone that fits that description pretty much perfectly. Now, I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but today we're going to be talking about what's been recently going on with Dougherty. Now, I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing his name like perfectly because it's kind of a weird name, but that's besides the point. And before we get into it, if you don't know who this guy is, first of all, good. And second, I'm going to have to sadly give a recap of what this guy does. So Dougherty is pretty much a content creator that I guess if you want to have a super far stretch, he makes kind of like prank-ish style videos. And like I said, that's a huge stretch to even call them pranks. More in line to what he actually does, he pretty much just goes around and tries to be as much of a nuisance as possible to literally anyone he can find. And that's in any way possible, whether it's just verbally harassing them or just acting like a complete goober around them and just doing stuff that would piss them off. Like I was saying a second ago, I don't even know how this type of content does good. It seems like right now he's mainly the punching bag of the internet, but even before everyone started trashing on him, he was getting a decent amount of views, and I can't help but wonder who's watching these. Like, I know they're mostly kids, but even when I was a kid, like, I wouldn't ever watch content like this. It's so bad. I'm gonna toss up a quick example on the screen of what this guy pretty much does.
Go.
Where we at? Where we at? What? Little bro, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, bro? Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you know, like I said, he pretty much just goes around and basically harasses people, and like you've seen from that clip, he's just walking around intentionally bumping into people and just being a nuisance, like I said. And all of his videos pretty much follow the same trend of him doing something completely stupid and getting on people's nerves and pretty much making them want to get, you know, confrontational with him, and then he just hides behind his huge security guards. And speaking of his security guards, I feel like they have to be getting paid a ton of money to even be around this guy. Like, I'm pretty sure it's probably not that hard of a job. I wouldn't know. I've never been a security guard for someone. But being a security guard for this guy, the hardest part would, like I said, just be being around him. Now that we have a bit of a baseline and we kind of know what type of content that this guy makes, recently, he's been, of course, doing the same thing, and it's not been that favorable for him. It seems like he's been running into some people recently that, you know, they don't really care about his security guard, and they're not too fond of the content he's been making. From what I've seen, he's had at least 2 recent videos where people that he's been pretty much pissing off have gotten physical with him. I'm going to toss the first one of those up on the screen now. Of course, I'm not going to be able to necessarily show all of it, like the part where they actually get physical, because, you know, YouTube isn't a big fan of that. But I can show a decent amount of it, enough to get some context.
We got out of there, motherfucker. Let's go.
Watch your language. There's kids around here.
I didn't say any curse words. What'd I say?
Just watch your language.
What'd I say?
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Yeah. Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm seeing
away
your
from
kids
me.
watch.
Get away from
you
me.
started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me. Watch your kids. Go walk away.
Hey,
McKinley, back up.
what the fuck's your problem?
Now, like you've seen from that video, he's pretty much walking around trying to do anything he can to get a reaction out of people. His security guard is literally wearing like a wacky shirt that I couldn't read all of what it says, but it says something vulgar that you probably wouldn't want to be like wearing around a beach with a bunch of kids and stuff. And that also seems like where a lot of the anger came from in this video. He was walking around saying like some, I guess, bad words, and the dad that was there clearly didn't like him saying that because he had his kids around, you know, that makes sense. No one wants their, you know, kids being around bad language and stuff, so he pretty much confronts him and he's just like, hey, watch your language, and he just keeps pressing the issue. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Pretty much just trying to be as much of a nuisance as possible, and then putting his security guard in the way. And in a crazy series of events, the other guy that he's walking up to with his like button-up shirt kind of opened a bit it seems like he didn't like what he was saying neither, so he's the one that decided to get physical with Jack. And like you've seen in that video, this is a great example of his security can't be everywhere at once. His security was, I guess, warding off what they thought was the main threat, while this other guy in the background was probably seconds away from pummeling this guy. And like I was mentioning about the security guards from earlier, how they have to be getting paid like a ton to even deal with this guy, I feel like they're almost at fault as well. Like, work is work, and sure, you gotta take work where you can get it, but like, they're almost encouraging this because they're defending him while he's doing it. Even if they're paying you, you could kind of butt in and be like, hey man, you know, I know I'm paid to defend you, but bro, you know, you don't have to be that much of a dickhead to everybody, like, come on now. Like I said, you know, I obviously don't want to blame it all on the security guard or nothing. Like I said, money is money, they're getting paid for what they do. But he's also wearing the wacky shirt that Jack probably got on his knees and begged him to wear. Hey, please, can you wear this shirt? I'm not gonna be able to wear it, because if they see it on me and they get pissed, they'll probably kick my ass. Like, it's just so stupid. And of course, to the surprise of nobody, like everything on the internet, it doesn't stop there. There's also a case of this where I think it's arguably worse. Now, this next video, I'm not going to be able to show, honestly, basically any of it because it starts off completely action-packed, but it's pretty much another confrontation of him pissing some people off, and in this video, instead of them having, like, a little scuffle, this guy just blows past his security guard and, like, punches him dead in his face. Like I said, I may put up, like, a screenshot or something, maybe a tiny clip of it on the screen. I can't really put up too much because it's, like I said, super action-packed. It, like, kicks off immediately, but I'm going to try and get something up to add at least a bit of context.
I gotta shake hands. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We're cool.
On the ground. Whoa.
But yeah, like I keep saying, I can't see how this guy even has half of a following to begin with. I can't even see how he got popular. He genuinely makes the worst type of content. Like I said, these aren't even pranks. This is just him going around harassing people for attention. And I don't know what these content creators are completely failing to understand time and time again, that not all attention is equal. This is horrible attention. No one likes you. No one is watching your videos and laughing with you. They're laughing at you. Like, it seems like pranks on YouTube have always been, you know, kind of more of like corny content. There's only like a few creators that, you know, make actual good, entertaining, like funny prank videos. And this sure isn't one of them. I don't know what this trend is with just going around and harassing people and just being a complete nuisance and acting like a child and thinking that it somehow passes off as some sort of prank or entertainment. And I'm sure a lot of people, of course, already know this, but the type of content that he's making is also super dangerous. All it takes is for him to run into the wrong person once and then it's completely done. Whether they either shoot him because it's America or they completely beat the ever-living shit out of him, all it takes is that one guy. Now, of course, he's going around and trying to, you know, antagonize the people that, you know, look like they're not too crazy and look like they're not gonna do nothing outrageous. Now, I don't want to give him too much credit, but it seems like he's not dumb enough to just go around and mess with some people that, you know, genuinely looks like they'll go off the rails and fuck him up. But, of course, it doesn't need to be said that you can't always tell how someone's gonna act based on their looks. Like I said, I feel like if he doesn't slow down this type of content or just cut it off in general, it's just a matter of time before he messes with the wrong person. It seems like he's just genuinely trying to min-max, fuck around, and find out. And right now, he's doing a whole lot of fucking around, and it seems like the finding out is really catching up. You know, there are a lot of different people that, you know, I feel like I kind of plot on their downfall in the shadows, but I do kind of hope that this guy, like I said, slows down or just stops this content in general, before he just ends up as another case of one of the wacky YouTubers that took a prank a little too far and ended up getting shot or something. Even with that said, he is still pretty young, so I feel like he will end up stopping this content, and I feel like he's gonna look back on it and regret it pretty bad. Like, I feel like he's just in the phase right now where he's just doing whatever he can to get a ton of views. He sees that it's working and it's getting a lot of attention, and he might not be at the stage where he knows that not all attention is good attention, and he's eventually hopefully just gonna grow up, and like I said, he's gonna look back on this and probably just feel like shit looking at it. I just hope these things kind of serve more as like a wake-up call to him so he could kind of realize that, you know, his security guards won't be able to protect him against anything, nor is he necessarily, you know, 100% safe doing any of these videos. But it looks like that'll be pretty much it for this video, a bit of a shorter video today. And hopefully next video we won't have to talk about the absolute bottom of the barrel of content. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.